MLB.com just put out an article with one prediction for every single team in baseball for 2025. And honestly, I thought that it would be fun to react to it together. All right, let's do it. We're not wasting any time today. Let's check out these predictions. The first prediction they went with is that Bo Bichette is going to bounce back to stardom for the Blue Jays. By the way, if you guys did not know, Bo is going with the Vladimir Guerrero Jr. approach where Vladdy kind of struggled, so he cut his hair. Bo, he's no longer Bo Flows. He's Bo with the low taper fade. This is kind of a gimme prediction. Bo went from leading the league in hits for almost 3 seasons in a row to hitting .225 with the 71 OPS plus. He was garbanzo beans. He was bad. For Bo's sake, I'm hoping that this prediction comes true because he's a free agent after this year. I want him to get his bag. Their prediction for the Orioles, their postseason winless drought will finally end. And if you guys did not know, since 2014 against the Royals in the ALCS, the Orioles have not won a single playoff game. They got swept 4 games in 2014. They lost in the wild card game in 2016. 2 years ago in 2023, they got swept in the division series against the Rangers, and last year they lost 2-0 in the wild card series against the Royals. I agree 100% with this prediction. They are way too good to not win a single playoff game. No chance that happens again. This is a fun one. They're predicting that the Rays will have a franchise record 3 players with 30 or more home runs. So they have the young superstar Junior Caminero popping off for 30 home runs, as well as Josh Lowe and Brandon Lowe. I know they're both spelled L-O-W-E, but one is Lowe, one is Lowe. Brandon Lowe had 39 home runs back in 2021, but that was the only time that he ever got close, and that's simply because he can't stay healthy. If he does stay healthy, Josh Lowe bounces back and Junior Caminero is the superstar prospect that we all think he is. It's not very likely, but 30 home runs from all 3 of those guys, it could happen. I don't agree with this one at all. Again, it's not my list, but they're saying that Lucas Giolito will be a comeback player of the year for the Red Sox. Similar to Shohei Ohtani, Lucas is coming back from a new alternative surgery to Tommy John. It's kind of just a reconstruction of the UCL using an internal brace, so it's not full-blown Tommy John. The last time that we saw Lucas, he was with the Guardians in 2023. He was a strikeout machine with 39 strikeouts in 30 innings, but yet again, he was walking everyone. He was allowing 3 home runs per 9 innings. He ended up with a 4.8 ERA in 2023. That was after having a 4.9 ERA in 2022. If Lucas Giolito bounces back, I'll be shocked. I don't think that he's very good anymore. The Yankees will have more regular season wins despite losing Juan Soto. So, of course, the pivot after losing Juan Soto has been Max Fried, trading for Devin Williams, acquiring Paul Goldschmidt and Cody Bellinger. I mean, they are a really good team. So, can they win more than 94 games? Probably. Is Cody Bellinger Juan Soto? Absolutely not. But on the flip side, is Juan Soto Cody Bellinger? No. Bellinger is a much better defender, and he's going to rake with that short porch. So if you can get 80% of Soto from Belly, I mean, that's great. Factor in Paul Goldschmidt, who was one of the best first basemen in baseball down the stretch. He finally got hot. He's replacing Anthony Rizzo, who wasn't very good last year. This could be a much better overall team, yes, than the Juan Soto Yankees. They also mentioned that Clay Holmes blew 13 saves last year. Yeah, Devin Williams is not going to do that. Jose Ramirez will enjoy his first 40 season. The only reason why this prediction is allowed to even be a thing is because Major League Baseball robbed Jose of that chance. He ended 2024 with 39 home runs and 40 stolen bases. But the crazy part is he had 1 more game left in the season, but they canceled the game because Major League Baseball said it doesn't have any effect on the regular season standings or the postseason, so we're just going to cancel it and not risk any injuries or just the schedule change. Jose is 32 years old, so time is not on his side, but it seems like the prime of a baseball player has been extended through medicine and technology. So I'm not going to doubt one of the most underappreciated superstars of the last decade, J-Ram. He could go 40-40 even at 32 years old. I don't know if they're saying that the Royals are going to win the AL Central because the Guardians gave away Josh Naylor and Andres Gimenez, or if they actually think the Royals are just that much better from the offseason. Because it's not like they've added a ton of pieces, they just brought back a lot of pieces. Wait, hold up. I just remember that they acquired Jonathan India. Yeah, they had to give away Brady Singer, but now that they have an India in the lineup with a Bobby Witt Jr. who's going to be a perennial 8 to 9 to 10 win player, Vinny Pasquantino rakes, I think that Michael Garcia is going to bounce back as well. As a Guardians fan, I don't like that, but we do have to be objective on this channel. The Royals, they're here, and they're here to stay. According to MLB.com, it looks like the American League is going to be handing Rookie of the Year to another pitcher in 2025, and that's going to be Jackson Jobe of the Tigers. By the way, Jackson Jobe throws 1 billion miles an hour. Jackson flew through the minors last year. He went from A- ball to AA to AAA, he put up a 2.36 ERA in 91 innings with 91 strikeouts. So it's not a crazy amount of strikeouts for a guy who throws triple digits, but Emmanuel Clase has the same sort of skill set. He doesn't strike out a ton of guys, but he gets a lot of outs. I'm sure Yankees fans are going to have a lot of fun with what I just said, but that's the truth. Emmanuel Clase, he's good, but I do agree with this prediction. I think that Jackson Jobe can kind of be a 2025 version of Luis Gil, a young flamethrower who's going to have decent command, and when I say decent, I'm being generous. It's not very good. He walks like 4 or 5 guys per 9. But again, I like that prediction. Let's talk about the Minnesota Twins. Joe Ryan will get AL Cy Young Award votes. Okay. Joe Ryan does have incredibly nasty stuff. If we go back to 2023, in his last 296 innings, he has 344 strikeouts. That's insane. That is a 10.5 strikeouts per 9. Last season in 23 starts, so he didn't have a full season because he missed the final stretch with an injury. He put up a 3.6 ERA and a pretty good 3.44 FIP. I feel like he can get even better, so yeah, I'm down with this prediction. I don't know if he's going to win it, but getting votes, I'm cool with that. If you guys use this card in MLB The Show 24, the Colson Montgomery card, you know why they're going with this dude to win Rookie of the Year. Colson forced his way into AAA at just 22 years old. Unfortunately, he did struggle with a 214 batting average, but him struggling still resulted in 21 doubles, 18 home runs, and a 330 on base percentage. That's really good. He's a 6'3" shortstop who could be the next Corey Seager. That's kind of the comp that everyone's going with. I don't know if he's going to win just like Joe Ryan, but could he get some votes? Absolutely. This would be my exact same prediction if I was making this list on my own. Mike Trout was going to bounce back and return to MVP form. I think that's going to happen. Just like they mentioned, yeah, Mike Trout is 33 years old, but did you guys know that even last year at 32, he was still one of the fastest players in baseball, and that was with a knee injury? I know this has nothing to do with 2025's sake, but do you guys remember how good rookie Mike Trout was at 20 years old? He had a 10.5 WAR in 139 games. I mean, Mike Trout is a Pantheon all-time great. This is one of those guys that was handpicked by the baseball gods as a 5-tool super athlete. I mean, Mike Trout was one of the greatest players that we've ever seen. I'm not saying that we're going to see a 50-50 season from Mike Trout like we did with Shohei Ohtani, but now that Mike is probably not going to be the primary center fielder, he's going to have a few more DHs sprinkled in there. Maybe he stays healthier. Maybe he plays a Gold Glove caliber type of left field. What if he has a monster defensive season out there in left and puts up a 30-30 campaign? Probably not going to be 30-30 because there's no way they allow him to steal bases anymore. Now, if they said anything about Anthony Rendon returning to MVP form, yeah, no. Hunter Brown is going to win AL Cy Young Award, not get AL votes. They believe that Hunter Brown will win the actual Cy Young Award. And the way that they break it down is after going 0-4 last year with a near 10 ERA, his sinker, man, it really showed up in a big way. He put up a 2.5 ERA in his final 150 innings last year. He literally looks like a mini JV. That's Justin Verlander, by the way. And Justin Verlander, yeah, he's won a few Cy Youngs. Wow, whoa. The Athletics, the Sacramento Athletics are going to have 2 players in the top 10 MVP voting, Brent Rooker and Lawrence Butler. Do you guys remember how good those 2 guys were in the second half of last year? Thankfully, they did some of the math for me. Those 2 combined for a 313 batting average with 44 home runs, 29 doubles, and 114 RBIs over the final 76 games. Those are cartoonish road to the show type numbers right there. And now that they're out of Oakland Coliseum and in a hitter-friendly ballpark, Sutter Heath Park in Sacramento, bigger numbers await. I like this prediction. It's a lot of fun. So they're going with a more broad pick for the Mariners. They're saying that someone in the rotation, whether that's Luis Castillo at the top or Brian Wu at the very bottom as a 5-starter, is gonna win Cy Young. So they got Bryce Miller, Logan Gilbert, Luis Castillo, Brian Wu, George Kirby. How could I forget the modern day Cliff Lee? George Kirby doesn't walk anyone. Now, I do think that one of these guys is going to get traded in 2025 simply because their starting pitching is kind of gluttonous. They have so many studs in that rotation, they can afford to offload them for a big-time offensive player. But to me, this one's kind of a cop-out as well. Their rotation is so stacked. Yeah, one of them is probably going to be in the Cy Young race. That's easy. Another Cy Young prediction. Okay, MLB, we're getting a little bit lazy, but hey, it's Jacob deGrom. I understand why you did this. Now, Jacob did pitch last year. If you guys don't remember, he had a short cup of coffee. He was insane. It was only 10 2/3 innings, but in those 10 2/3, he had 14 strikeouts and only allowed 2 runs. Also 1 walk. he was Jacob deGrom all over again. Listen, the guy has a combined 2.07 ERA and a 2.12 FIP since 2018. I know that's not a ton of innings over the last 6 or 7 seasons because he has been injured a lot, but again, he's the Mike Trout, the Shohei Ohtani of starting pitchers. I mean, 35-year-old Chris Sale just won a Cy Young. Why can't Jacob deGrom at 36 do the same thing? Before we talk about the NL side of things, that was our final AL team. A quick favor to ask, if you guys haven't already, leave a like and subscribe. Also, don't forget that these videos are brought to you by SeatGeek and Underdog Fantasy. Use code Fuzzy. All right, back to the video. Our first National League prediction, we have Matt Olson will hit 50-plus home runs again. So we all remember back in 2023 when Matt teed off for 54 home runs that easily broke his career best of 39 home runs back in 2021 as an A. Considering he's only broke 40 home runs once, and that led to the 54 home runs. I don't know if I see 50 plus all over again, but I've met Matt. He was a great interview, one of the nicest guys in baseball. I want 60. If there's anyone else in baseball not named Aaron Judge that can do it, it's Matt Olson. Plus, I feel like the Braves are just going to be a whole lot healthier and have that protection around him in the lineup more often, which means that he's going to have better pitches to hit. The Marlins 2025 will show signs of the organization's future. You don't say. Basically, in a nutshell, they don't have a prediction. This is more or less a statement. They're simply saying that 2025 is going to be the year that Peter Bendix can really showcase his vision because he's traded everyone and their mother for guys like Connor Norby, Kyle Stowers, Augustin Ramirez, and Davision De Los Santos, some really promising prospects. Again, this was more of a statement as opposed to a prediction, so I'll go ahead and insert my prediction. I think that Davision De Los Santos could pop off for 30 home runs as a rookie. That's my prediction. Last year, between the Diamondbacks farm system and the Marlins farm system, Davision popped off for 40 home runs in 137 games. He has power for days. Wow, MLB.com has the Mets dethroning the Phillies in the NL East. And remember, the Braves are going to be a whole lot healthier. The NL East in 2025 is going to look like Endgame. You basically got Thanos and his squad versus the Avengers. I mean, seriously, that's going to be so much fun to watch. Off the top of my head, we know that the Mets brought in Juan Soto. They brought back Sean Manaea and Pete Alonso. They've added a few other pieces as well, including Clay Holmes, who could be kind of nasty as a starting pitcher. This could be a hot take, but I actually do not agree with this prediction. I still feel like the Phillies are the top dog. I feel like they've kind of been underperforming in the playoffs over the last 2 seasons. I thought that they were going to go on a run and face the Padres in the NLCS, not the Dodgers. I honestly did not think that LA could keep up after losing so many key players in their rotation, but obviously they showed me wrong, so what do I know? But again, this is going to be so much fun to watch, and I think it's great for baseball. I just don't know if I agree with the Mets being the #1 team in the East going forward. All right, here we go. This one's going to really make me work because I have no idea who their Ferrar earns the closing role for the Nationals. I know that Cal Finnegan was let go. Who is this? 24-year-old Jose A. Ferrer. Okay. According to them, he has a really good fastball, 98.3 miles per hour average on the four-seam fastball. He's also a lefty. They say that he's a southpaw with like a 3.38 ERA. He only allowed 1 home run in 32 innings. That's pretty impressive. If you guys didn't know, James Wood did exceed rookie limits in 2024. So if your prediction was Wood is going to win Rookie of the Year, it can't be him. But okay, 24-year-old lefty Jose A. Ferrar, I hope that you do your thing, kid. Ooh, yes, I can say. Here we go. The Phillies' prediction is that my friend Bryson Stott will bounce back. Bryson was dealing with an elbow injury for the large part of 2024, and that kind of zapped his power. I'm not saying he's a 30 home run type of guy, but the power did dip. He went from 32 doubles and 15 home runs, which resulted in a .419 slugging, to 19 doubles and 11 home runs. The slugging dropped to .356. That's not the Bryson Stott I know. If the defense stays put, he gets 30 stolen bases all over again, and the power comes back, he's going to be a 4-5-1 player all over again. But one more prediction for Bryson, I think he's going to go off in the playoffs. I think he's going to finally get used to the pressure and tee off. Christian Yelich wins NL Comeback Player of the Year. Wait, didn't he play a lot of games last year? He did only play 73 games last year, but in those 73 games, he had 11 home runs, a .315 batting average, and a whopping 151 OPS plus. Does that count as a Comeback Player of the Year type guy? If it does, I kind of like this prediction. I probably would have gone with a Brandon Woodruff because he missed all of 2024 and was not an all-star the last time that we saw him. But hey, anytime I get to talk about Christian Yelich bouncing back and getting his name back in potentially Hall of Fame discussions, I'm cool with it. The rebuilding Cardinals will push for a wild card spot. Why? I mean, okay. I don't know what's going to happen with Nolan Arenado. He could get traded 15 seconds after I upload this video, so that's a big question mark. I can't really bake into the equation for the 2025 Cardinals. I don't know if he's going to be on the team or not. Like they mentioned, they do have some really young, promising players like a Jordan Walker, Nolan Gorman. He's got to bounce back. We all know that Lars Nootbaar can be a two-way monster. Thomas Sagasi, he is honestly one of my favorite prospects in baseball, along with Victor Scott. I love Victor Scott's ceiling. But the thing about the 2025 Cardinals is they're not the same Cardinals that we all know and love. Even Jim Edmonds, a fan favorite, a face of the franchise, said it's not the same down in St. Louis. He literally admitted he doesn't even hang out with the team that much or even make the trip down to spring training anymore. My prediction, honestly, I think it would just be they're going to trade Ryan Helsley. The Chicago Cubs will win their first playoff game since 2017. It's been that long? At the time of this recording, Alex Bregman has not signed with anyone, and there are big-time rumors that Bregman could be the third baseman for Chicago going forward. If it's not Bregman, it's probably going to be the rookie Matt Shaw, who's going to be so good in my opinion. They also added Matthew Boyd, who was a top 5 pitcher in baseball down the stretch last year for the Guardians and the best pitcher in the postseason. He could be a big-time wild card. But when your lineup goes Ian Happ, Kyle Tucker, Seiya Suzuki, Michael Busch, Dansby Swanson, Nico Horner, Pete Armstrong, Matt Shaw, Miguel Amaya, I mean, that's one of the best battle royale lineups I've ever seen, let alone big league lineups. The Pittsburgh Pirates coming up next. We have O'Neal Cruz having a 30-30 season. Now, maybe the fact that he's not a shortstop anymore because he was not a great defensive shortstop, maybe having that pressure off his back is going to make him better defensively, because we know Joey Gallo is a really good hitter when he's out in center field. Maybe the same thing's going to happen with O'Neal Cruz and just unlock himself fully. Last year, O'Neal stayed relatively healthy. He played in 146 games. He had 34 doubles, 21 home runs, 22 stolen bases, and a 113 OPS plus. Pretty good. So I'll tip my cap for this prediction. This one's kind of fun and random. O'Neal Cruz going 30-30. I could see it happening. Elly De La Cruz, despite the strikeouts, will be the NL MVP. I bring up the strikeouts because so many of you older school fans, now I'm not trying to dunk on you by any means, but you get so caught up on the strikeouts that you think Aaron Judge isn't as good as he really is, or Elly De La Cruz. Did he strike out 218 times? Yeah, is that not great? It's not good, but come on, let's give him some grace. He had almost 700 plate appearances because he played in 160 games. He had 36 doubles, 10 triples, 25 home runs, 67 stolen bases, and a 340 on base with a 120 OPS plus. And you cannot forget that outs above average, the defensive stat that we all love on Baseball Savant. They said that he was one of the best defenders in baseball despite the errors. If you ask your grandfather about Elly De La Cruz, he's going to say that Elly sucks because of the strikeouts and the errors. But remember, he's stealing 70 bags with 40 doubles, 30 home runs, and he's going to get to baseballs that not many shortstops can get to, which will make up for the occasional error. Oh my, Elly just turned 23, and he already has 102 career stolen bases. This guy might steal 1,000. What is this? Wait, what is their prediction for the D-backs? The pitching will be better. Okay. I mean, when you add Corbin Burns, yeah, I would hope so. Not really much else to say, because, like, yeah, I agree. Obviously, maybe you could have gone with Corbin Carroll wins MVP, or maybe you go with Jordan Lawler winning Rookie of the Year, or Jordan Montgomery winning Bounce Back or Comeback. Can you win Bounce Back if you really sucked, or is it just if you're coming back from injury? All right, that was easy. D-backs, the pitching will get better. Sure. Oh, here we go. Here we go with the Glaze. Hey, you know what? I respect the Glaze because you guys know I've been defending the Dodgers for this entire offseason because they're doing things that other teams should be able to do as well. I mean, the Marlins, they have tons of money to spend as well, but they've only spent $800 grand total. The Dodgers will challenge the all-time wins record. Wasn't that set by the Mariners or something like that? It was 116 wins. I believe that was the Mariners. Don't quote me on that, but when you have a rotation of Yamamoto, Glasnow, Snell, you have Ohtani coming back, maybe Dustin May, Tony Gonsolin. I'm probably forgetting someone like a monster in that rotation with 3 MVPs in the lineup, and you add Michael Conforto and bring back Teoscar. Get out of my face. Not really, though. I've tipped my cap to the Dodgers all offseason long because even after winning the World Series, they spent more money and put $100 million into their stadium to renovate their clubhouse for their World Series winning players. That's cool. I like this one. I like this one a lot. Camilo Doval regains his all-star form. Now, I don't know if this means he's going to be the all-star closer because, let's face it, he's not better than the guy that they have now, the guy who replaced Doval. Ryan Walker is essentially a sidearm demon who is throwing not fully from the side, but his angle is weird enough to be like, Wait, you're still throwing 97 plus? How are you doing that? How is your arm not falling off? We do have to keep in mind, though, that from 2021 to 2023, over his first 160 innings, Doval did put up a combined 2.77 ERA, a sub-3 FIP, which is really good, and also he had about 70 saves. He still had 23 saves last year in 2024, so he's almost to 100 total for his career, but the ERA ballooned to almost 5 because he was walking 6 guys per 9 and allowing a lot more hits. An 8.2 hits per 9 with a near 6 walks per 9. Yeah, you're going to lose your job. 78 strikeouts in 59 innings is still ultra nasty, so do not be surprised if Doval bounces back. I like this prediction. San Diego will be in the postseason again. Now, at first glance, this kind of sounds like, yeah, of course, almost like the Diamondbacks, like an easy prediction, but considering they've lost Jerkson Profar, they also lost Ha-Sung Kim, so he's not coming back anytime soon. They just added Connor Joe and Jason Hayward to man left field. Maybe those guys can combine to be one decent player as platoons. By the way, those moves came after they finally settled on a new control person slash kind of like owner of the Padres, so maybe there's some stability coming to the Padres and some good news is going to be coming down the pipeline. I like the Padres a lot on paper, even without Profar and Kim. It's just that the Diamondbacks look so otherworldly as well. It's going to be tough to have 3 teams in one division making the playoffs. We don't have to worry about that in terms of the Rockies. Okay, the youth takes over. I agree. I'm kind of blown away that he's not mentioned in this little graphic, but Zach Veen is one of my favorite prospects, or at least he has been for quite some time. Zach Veen could almost be like a Josh Lowe type of player for the Rays, someone who could hit 25 plus home runs and steal 40-50 bags. I don't know if Josh Lowe is going to get to 40-50, but Veen, he could. Ezekiel Tovar and Brenton Doyle showed a lot of promise last year. You still have Ryan McMahon. Nolan Jones, now that he's going to be healthy, he was really good to end 2024. He could bounce back as well. Just a lot of young pieces in place that could take over. And as they said, Chase Dollander, the Rockies' #2 prospect, he could be special as a pitcher. You have Michael Toglia as one of the better power switch hitters in baseball. He showcased a lot of that last year. Not expecting much from the Rockies. Maybe you could have gone with a Chris Bryant bounce back. But just like Anthony Rendon, are we kind of giving up on that idea that Bryant or Rendon or Baez can really make a dent anymore? And there you have it. One prediction for every single team in Major League Baseball, courtesy of MajorLeagueBaseball.com. I don't know why I didn't just say MLB.com. Let me know what you thought of their predictions. And again, don't forget to let me know your prediction for your team in the comments down below. Thanks for watching.